And I hate to say it like this, but you're crying wolf. You can't watch a video like that and automatically say that that cop is racist. I've had 3 partners my entire career. Every single one of my partners has been a white male, and I will bet every single amount of money that I have in my checkings and savings account that every single one of those white males that have been my partner is not racist. And I know that because I know them. But God forbid that they go out and they get caught on camera, or their BWC, their body camera picks up them using force on someone that's a minority, because they're automatically going to be crucified and labeled as a racist, which doesn't make sense. Yo, what is up, everybody? It is your boy AJ. Listen, I have to tell you something. If there's ever been a time for you to take care of yourself, both physically and mentally, the time is now, which is exactly why our sponsor, Thin Line Anthem supplement brand, is offering you 20% off your entire order. Listen to me. This is a first responder supplement brand, meaning it's ran and operated by first responders, created for first responders. They understand how mentally sharp we need to be. They understand how physically capable we also need to be. With that said, make sure you go on their website, thinlineanthem.com, and in the promo code section, type in this: it's needed. All capital letters, no spaces. Again, it's needed. All capital letters, no spaces, and they'll give you 20% off your entire order. Please stay safe out there. Keep doing what you're doing. Keep fighting the fight, and enjoy the podcast.
Yo, what's going on? Welcome to another episode of the It's Needed podcast, where we discuss real issues involving law enforcement in the community. It's your boy Ryan Tillman, founder of Breaking Barriers United, and I'm joined today by the light-skinned wonder himself, Mr. Odno with the Popo.
Billy, we need to get some real intro music from me, like you press a button somewhere on a machine.
There is equipment we could get that could do that.
We got to get that.
Maybe in the future. Maybe in the possible near future.
I want fireworks,
Bruh, what is going on, bro?
Oh, the fly.
We are also joined today. We're also joined today by Billy himself. What's up, Savage?
Hey everyone. It's kind of nice just to be the 3 of us right now. You know, we've had great guests, but I haven't talked to you guys in a bit.
Yeah, it hasn't been just the 3 of us. Billy, I already noticed Billy talks a little bit more when we don't have a guest on.
Oh, sure. Jump right into it. Billy, how you doing? It's good, guy.
You know it's good.
I sometimes don't have anything to add, so I keep my mouth shut.
No, Billy was going to do the intro. Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of this.
Oh, we need that to happen one time.
3 octaves for me.
We need that to happen one time. Way more chipper. You weren't chipper enough.
Hey, Billy, try it for us, bro. Try the intro for us.
Yo, what's going on? It's your boy Ryan. Oh, wait.
Oh, what? You don't even know your name, bro.
Well, I was going to try to do Ryan's intro, right?
Man.
What's going on? It's your boy Ryan Tillman, founder of Breaking Barriers United. I'm joined today by the light-skinned wonder himself. Can I say that? Am I allowed to say that?
Well, as sensitive as everybody is right now, probably not.
Yeah, not this year. You're not.
2020, bro.
Cancel.
The year of sensitivities. Oh man.
You ain't lying.
It is. Yeah, you're right, Billy. It is a pleasure to be back on with just the 2 of you guys. We've had some phenomenal guests, but man, we haven't done one with. I think we've had 3 guests on since the last one we did by ourselves. So this is gonna be a quick one, just so you guys know. Today, I actually have to jump on another call,
And we're a day late.
Yes, I want to start off by apologizing to you guys.
It's a weird week.
This was a weird week. My family and we were out of town. I went to Atlanta last week. I was still on this Hill America tour, which is phenomenal, by the way. T.I. and Mac Mang and some of those guys were on the panel, so it was good conversation for sure. So that was good. And then as soon as I flew back from Atlanta, I was literally out there one day, flew back, and then my family and we drove up to Zion National Park. And I don't know if you've ever been to Zion before, but if you haven't, you definitely got to check it out. It's in St. George, Utah, and let me just say, man, it's crazy. They have all these different hiking trails. One that's called the Narrows, and basically you start this. It's like a mile up, and then or mile. Yeah, no, I think it's a mile. I don't know if you go up or down, but anyways, it's called the Narrows because it's in between these 2 big mountains, and there's all this water that you can you hike through and stuff like that, and it gets up as high as some people were saying it gets over your waist up to your shoulder. We actually did it. We just went into where it got to about our knees, and then we came back because we had all the kids. We had a huge group of us. It was about 20 of us. And
Nice.
so, I'm carrying Rylan above my head trying to walk hike through this water. Oh man, but it was a great trip. And so we literally just got back yesterday. And so forgive us for not having our podcast on Monday. And I know people will crucify us. I told you I met a lady a few weeks ago, and she was mad that, she was looking for the podcast on Monday and it wasn't there. So forgive us for that.
We are sorry.
Yeah, forgive me. So I could have probably did it yesterday, but we were in the process of packing up. We rented a vacation home out there, which was legit, by the way. These vacation homes are huge.
Like Airbnb or?
Yeah, but no. It's kind of like Airbnb in that you can rent a home, but they're like huge. There's like the house in the corner is you can fit up to like 60 guests, and like it's like 9 bedrooms. There's a full court basketball court. It was
So it's kind of like your house.
Yeah, right. You talking about my 1-bedroom apartment? Shoot. Oh man, and the dopest thing about it was right across the street, like literally within about 15 steps is like a little miniature water park. So it had water slides, everything for the kids. So it was fun. We went there with a couple other families, man. We stayed. It was just a good time. We celebrated my wife's 33rd birthday. So,
Nice.
Putting
her age out there like that, man.
did I say 33? I meant her 23rd birthday,
23rd birthday.
Speaking of fair or foul, I got a fair or foul to start the day off with. Fair or foul, is it foul that my boy AJ just put his wife on blast for making burning bacon?
Oh, no, that's fair. Listen,
nah, bro.
Listen, I told y'all the air fryer story, right?
Yeah, you did.
So I don't know if I put it on the podcast. I don't even know if she would want me to put that out there. But hey, this is the second time she has tried to burn the house down, making your boy breakfast in bed. And yes, I can't say breakfast. Sorry,
breakfast.
Put that out
breakfast.
there.
Breakfast in bed.
So yeah, man, I'm peacefully sleeping, and I wake up like my bacon don't smell fine right now. Like, hey, and the worst part is I'm like
craving the bacon.
Babe, where's the bacon at? Well, it's still in the oven. Like, why is it still in the oven, babe? Take the bacon out the oven. It's burnt. It's on fire.
Oh, bruh.
Yeah,
now
that's fair.
No, that's foul, bro. You shouldn't be putting your wife out there. You should have said that was the most pristine bacon you've ever tasted in your life. Your wife went out. Your wife went out there and killed the pig right in the back of your yard, bro, and
she
threw
killed the bacon. That's what she killed. She killed the bacon.
That's the title of this podcast. Killed the bacon. There it is.
Killed the bacon. Slaughtered it.
Oh man. So. But you know what, guys? This is good. I haven't talked to AJ or Billy literally in about a week, and so sometimes natural conversation is just good. It seems like every single day there's just another current event. Every single day, like we can't make it a day without another police shooting. We can't make it a day without some type of political jargon that's out there. Man, how do you guys feel with all this, man? Like, do you guys feel overwhelmed like I do, or do you guys love it like the rest of the world?
Billy,
I don't know how we're gonna come back, because every day there's another riot, and nobody. People always talk about finding common ground, meeting in the middle, like what we're trying to do, but like it seems like no one's willing to. I mean, people we talk to, we do find those people. I don't want to say we don't, but it is discouraging. I've actually stopped listening to some of the political podcasts I normally listen to every day, just because it's so discouraging. And I kind of start rolling my eyes. I'm like, these people, man,
Oh, absolutely, man. So for me, like I'm an extremely optimistic person by nature. Like like I could get shot and I'll be laying on the ground like, well, at least they ain't get me in the heart, right? It's like, you know what I mean? Like,
didn't hurt that bad.
Exactly. Like I got blasted with a scooter and I'm joking about it like 5 minutes later, right? Just because, life throws you a lot of punches, man. But I would be a liar if I didn't say that there aren't times where I'm looking at where we're at as a society. And I'm extremely concerned, and you're absolutely right, Billy. Like, I believe we're going to come back. I'm just not sure when and what it's going to take. But what's keeping me extremely optimistic and positive throughout this storm, and I'm not just saying this because we're here and people are listening, is this podcast and the people that we've had on the podcast and their stance and their ability to sit down and have conversations, even if we have opposing views, to have conversations in hopes to learn from each other and to better improve where we're at. So the people are out there it just seems like they're not the ones with the microphones right now, and that the loud majority are the ones out here spewing this hatred and whatnot. But my biggest frustration with this is, everyone is preaching, the preservation of life, whether it's Black Lives Matter, Blue Lives Matter, my life matters, your life matters, right? Like that's like the real theme right now. But we're not seeing it.
Yeah.
And by that, just today, so last night, I think a 5 or 6-year-old got shot in Columbus, Ohio. And 2 days ago, a 9-year-old got shot in Columbus, Ohio. And this is happening everywhere. Like, I just know these headlines because it's where I live. So, it's frustrating for me because, we go out here and we preach, Black Lives Matter. Absolutely. You are correct. But look at the numbers and look and compare them to last year, compare them to last month of the homicides, the aggravated assaults, the felonious assaults. So if we truly believe in that, and if we're truly that passionate about that statement, then what are we doing to prevent these shootings and to prevent these killings and felonious assaults against Black lives? Not just police that are committing these, but black on black, white on black, black on white, whatever, right? Like whatever the violence is that you're so passionate about, or the preservation of life that you're so passionate about, what are you doing to go out there and really get it done?
You're so right. And one of the things I've been kind of thinking about is this idea of the silent majority. And it's time for the silent majority to stop being silent. And I say that in the most respectful way as I can. But the reason I say that is because you and I and Billy, all of us, we've decided to stop being silent. And I think that's how It's Needed podcast got started.
Yep.
We realized that there was a need for some change, and we weren't silent about it. And the thing is people will say all the time, well, Ryan, you're gifted. God has given you a gift to speak, and AJ's given you a gift to speak. But God has given every single one of us a gift to speak. In general, like, you may not be the most eloquent person. You may not be the most, versed person, but he's still given us all the gift of having a voice. And so we got to kind of get away from the notion of being silent and being the majority, because right now what we're seeing, I would say it's called like a small minority that we're seeing. That's what we're actually seeing on TV, but it's it's put out there like they're the majority, and that's the sad part. There's a lot of different things going on right now. Unfortunately, I mean, we had the death of Black Panther, Chadwick, and I have a good friend of mine, Amari Hardwick, he's an actor, and he made a post when he received an award, and basically on this post he had said something about how he received, this award or whatever, and how he's going to pick up the torch that Chadwick left behind. And when he was crucified by that, I'm like, man, like, nobody can talk anymore without somebody having to say something about it. And
hey, bruh, I posted a picture of me and a kid named Ken that I mentor. In the picture, I'm in uniform and Ken is wearing a Black Panther mask. And the caption basically said, like, this wasn't just a movie. This wasn't just a character. To some, this was hope. That's what the caption said. I think word for word. And people were commenting on my post. Yeah, but he supported defund the police. And it's like, so he deserved to die? Like, so we can't appreciate him as a person? We can't appreciate the good that he's done because he supported something that opposes to your views? And this is coming from a police officer that clearly doesn't support defunding the police. But like, is that where we're at as a society right now, to where like, if you're different from me, if your view is different from me, if you don't believe exactly what I believe, then not only can we not be friends and not have a dialogue, but I hate you. And it seems like that's where we're getting to as a society. And people are so cautious on what they say, so cautious on what they wear, how they look, what they post. And it's like, we can't be who we are to an extent now because people are afraid of being crucified.
Well, think about how many people actually support some of these initiatives too, that are good people, and in their mind they're supporting it because they think it's a good cause.
Right.
So does that automatically make them a bad person because they went out vocally and said, I support defund the police? Because think about it. Like when we talked about this before, when Black Lives Matter first came out, I was in support of the phrase of what it stood for, Black Lives Matter, because they do. You know, just like we talk about that. And so, but now doing the research like I've done, you know, I've understood that I don't support that organization because of what their values are. But I was too, you know, at the very beginning, you know, oh, Black Lives Matter. Yes, that's a phrase that I agree with. No doubt about it. So we got to get away from this place where we start to crucify people because they say, yeah, you know what, well, that person supports defund the police, or, you know, that person supports, you know, this or that. Like I made a post yesterday where, and we titled it, I rather focus on getting to know the person. And I think you and I have been like so, you know, proof that we can do that. Think about the guests we've had on our podcast, from Leon to Artie to, you know, all these other different people, which we in many ways differ a lot.
Oh, for sure.
Lot in so many different ways. But I'll keep using me and Leon, but he's a good example, bro. Me and Leon don't agree with everything. You know what I mean? We definitely don't agree with everything, but Leon's a cool dude. Like every time we're in person, like when we're not talking about the issues, we vibing like we brothers. Like, you know what I mean? And even when we do talk about the issues, it's a respectful, like, yeah, like you can feel that way, I can feel this way, but it's not going to hinder our relationship. And I think that's the sad thing right now is that, you know, everybody feels like, well, the moment you don't see things the way I see it, we can't even vibe. Like I'm not even going to go beyond trying to get to know you anymore because it's not worth it. And it's so sad. Like, you know, I feel so bad. Alice Marie Johnson, we're going to have her on the podcast. She spoke at the RNC last week. Bro, they were attacked leaving the RNC by people.
Oh yeah, physically attacked.
Physically attacked. She's one of the sweetest. Go ahead.
Listen.
Didn't happen at the DNC. Just putting that out there.
That is the crazy thing to me, that we're creating a world where people now feel comfortable not only like emotionally and mentally attacking you and verbally attacking you, but to physically attack you. And it, like, to me, that blows my mind. Like, I've never really got that concept before, just because the way I was raised, right? Like the way that I was raised is, you don't know me, I don't know you. Like, you could be a killer, you could be at rock bottom right now, meaning I'm not going to cross you, I'm not going to say anything wrong towards you that is not warranted, right? Because once again, you could had just got fired from your job, just going through a divorce, you got a gun in your pocket because you always carry one, and I could be that person to say something to you and you pull that gun out and just start shooting, right? Like, that's the way that I was raised from whatever from the day I was born to 18 years old, right? That was the environment. You don't know who you're messing with. You don't know what they're capable of. So I've never really got that mindset before. But now I look at some of these people and I'm like, where is this coming from? Like, what is making you so angry that you're going to go out here and physically attack somebody? Is it because their opinions differ from yours? Is it because they're doing something that you don't feel is appropriate? Like, you're going to physically attack them because of that?
Bro, I'm looking for this video right now. There was literally a video I saw where this black guy runs up behind this white guy and throws a brick at the back of his head, bro, and the dude just collapses.
Did you see the police officer who got hit with like the hubcap or the top of the trash can?
I saw that.
Yeah, I saw some Captain America jokes about that one.
Almost knocked him out. It did look like a Captain America shield. Now that you say that, yeah. But it's like, man, I don't know, man. Like, it's frustrating for multiple reasons. One, because I can't go out there, and Ryan is so distracted by this fly right now.
Bro, you see me having this war with this fly right now. I'm about
he
to
done took off his Jesus sandal. And he about to try.
Bro, he's been teasing me too because he knows I'm in a podcast.
You know, but this whole situation is frustrating to me for a lot of reasons. One, because I'm off injured right now and I can't physically like go out in uniform and help be that catalyst to spark change and, you know, to help like lay the foundation to eventually build this bridge. But two, just because I feel like at this point you have to pick a side, or a majority of people think you have to pick a side, which is frustrating. I got a DM the other day that said, hey, you follow Mike the cop. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to unfollow you now because I don't believe his views and I don't support what he supports. And I just started laughing. Like, I read it and I'm like, okay, I follow Mike the Cop, who's an actual friend of mine, right? Like, we have amazing dialogues all the time, right? Probably once a month. In the same breath, I follow Sean King, who is on the complete opposite side of the opposite side of the extreme, right?
But
So yeah, absolutely. Like, things that he posts are crazy, but I follow him, right? Just like I follow Fox News, I follow CNN, right? But the fact that you're gonna judge me based off of somebody that I follow online, that says a lot about where you're at mentally, not who you are as a person. Because I ain't gonna go there, but it really says like where you're at mentally and as a society where we're at, right? Like, I'm a police officer. You automatically are like, well, you're racist. If you ain't racist, then you're a killer. Like, you're corrupt. You do X, Y, and Z. And it's just like, man, I don't know. Like, I truly don't know how we got to this point, but we're at a point where people are just truly thinking with emotions.
yes,
Logic is
it's
out.
gone. Logic is gone.
Logic is just not there. Facts at this point don't matter. They don't matter, right? Like, you can shoot at a cop and get shot, and people are gonna be mad. Why they shoot? Why ain't they shoot the gun at? Like, logic is just not there. And I'm not to ramble and rant, but it's been a while since it's just been us. But we're at a point where the society needs educated. Not the police officers. And man, I'll say it. I know I'm gonna get some backlash for it, and I know people are gonna be upset, but civilians need educated. And I don't mean that in a mean way, but like, you need educated. You need to know what a reactionary gap is and why it is what it is. And if you're holding a knife, why I'm not supposed to get so close to you because you could lunge and stab me before I'm able to unholster my gun and shoot you. You need to realize why we don't shoot people's hands or in the leg because they're small targets, and why we aim for the center mass, and that we don't shoot to kill people. We shoot to stop the threat. And I truly believe that will help out a lot of situations, because they have helped out in a lot of dialogues that I've had. But at this point, no one's listening. And that's where the frustration for me comes in.
Hey, what's going on, listeners? I want to take a quick second to give a shout out to our sponsors, Thin Line Anthem. Thin Line Anthem is a vitamin and supplement store started by first responders. If you're into fitness or looking to get fit during this quarantine time, check them out at thinlineanthem.com and use promo code ITSNEEDED, all caps, one word, and check at checkout. Thanks again, guys, and let's get back to the podcast. So two things. The first thing is, I remember I had a person one time similar to you, but this was even more so. Is that, hey, I saw that you liked a post that I didn't agree with. And in my mind, I'm thinking, like, first of all, do you know how much like work you have to do to go find and see what other people liked?
You had to see the post.
Yeah.
That person had to go to that page and look at that post to see that you liked it.
Yeah. Or go to the Explore page. I don't even know if they still do that and see what other people are liking. Do they still even do that?
I don't think they have that.
Nope.
So that means that, like, you're so focused on who I follow, who I like, man, like, whatever happened to just being an individual and being able to say, like, agree to disagree. Oh, okay, I don't really agree with that person, but okay, no problem. But for you to come out and say, like, oh, well, I saw that you like this person and I don't really agree with that. So it's like, and now, thank God I don't care, because,
right,
the rest of, there's so many people that actually care, that actually changes, which is, I think, and in some senses, what's created this silent majority, because we're so afraid and care about what other people think that it's made us be silent. You know what I mean? And that's a sad thing. I used to always wonder when I was growing up, like, why is it that people never talk about, there's three things that people never talk about: politics, religion, and gender, or your whether you're gay or straight. What you identify with. You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
Those are three things that nobody really talks about. And in my mind, I used to be baffled like when I was younger. The innocent mind was like, why can't we talk about these things? Like, that was my mindset. Like, why? And it really is, if you think about it, is really that simplistic. Is why can't we talk about them? Well, because we might disagree with one another.
That's it.
We're afraid of disagreeing.
Yep.
So why is it so that we're so afraid of disagreeing with one another? That's what we teach when you're younger. Is like my kids all the time, they argue all the time. But one of the things we do is we try to teach them, okay, hey, it's okay that you don't see it the way he sees it and vice versa. That's how you teach people that, hey, it's okay to differ from one another. That's how God made us.
Yep.
So that kind of leads me into this real conversation that we're going to have today. It can't be long, but this real conversation about going back to Kenosha, Wisconsin.
Let's talk about it.
We got to have a real conversation, guys.
You guys know, I never got details on what actually transpired. I saw like different stories.
So what we're going to do is we're going to have this conversation from a place where you don't even need a lot of information to understand what actually transpired. Because if we're going to be honest with ourselves, we got to realize that Kenosha, Wisconsin, without actually knowing the details or context going into it, we got to lay out some of the facts, you know, just to how we deal with police encounters. So I made a video last week that talked about 5 unknown things that we can't start formulating an opinion until we know 5 unknown things. But even if we make it even more simplistic than that, we got to think about where we're at in society. We have police that are going to a call for service to handle a situation in which they know that there's some type of disturbance. You have a guy, Jake, who goes back and is refusing to listen to officers' commands. We actually saw a video came out after the fact where they're in a scuffle on the other side of that car before the shooting actually happened. If we stop right there and don't move any further, we have to ask ourselves one critical question. Could this have been avoided if Jake would have just complied with officers' commands? We gotta be honest with ourselves, and have to. We have to. And if you're listening to this podcast, if you're one of those people that's like, oh, see, you're one of those guys that's just saying just comply. No, it's not that simple. No, it is that simple, guys. We have to be real with ourselves. If he would have just listened and surrendered and just put his hands up in the air, did whatever he needed to do we still have the shooting that takes place moments later? So you move a step further, he's not complying. They try to tase him. When's the last time an officer is giving you commands and you just said, nah, I'm not going to do it, and they point a taser at you? Have you still not complied? And unfortunately, don't be led into this false narrative that society's trying to create to where you find yourself in a situation trying to get bold with a police officer because you think it's okay to do so now. Because right now, we're seeing a lot of people that are trying to be bold with officers. And next thing they know, they get hemmed up or use of force happens. And they're like, well, why'd you do that to me? So don't get empowered to think that you all of a sudden can go out there and just not comply with officers, because that's what we're seeing going on. So getting back to that whole stuff in Kenosha, you move forward. He doesn't comply. So now he goes to his car and he reaches in the car. He doesn't get into the car like he's about to drive away. Even if he did, he still shouldn't have been doing that. But he makes a quick, rash decision to reach into a car to do whatever he's doing. Now, as a black man in America, if we're this scared about police, if we are this scared about police where, hey, I'm afraid of police officers because I'm afraid they might shoot me. If we are black men in America, why would you reach into a car with this preconceived fear that you already have of police because they might shoot you? Why would you do that? Because now you're giving that officer a reason to have to make a decision of whether or not you're trying to reach for a weapon or you're not reaching for a weapon. But why even put yourself in that position? So he put himself in a position where he reaches in a car very quickly, and now that officer has to make a split-second decision on whether or not he's reaching for a weapon. And if you ask me, that officer probably thought he was reaching for a weapon, which is why he shot him 7 times in the back. Now, if we go back to the very beginning of this conversation, could this have been avoided if he would have just put his hands up and said, do what y'all got to do? And like my buddy Tam said it the best early on when we first started this podcast, is argue this in court. On the side of the street, that's not the place to argue. The place to argue is in a courtroom. So now what we have is we have Jake that was shot in the back 7 times by an officer, and now we got to do a whole investigation on what the officer's mindset was, all this other things. And then the other sad part is there's going to be a point in time where we have to come to this reality. When they do find that this officer was not guilty,
Yep.
are people going to be ready to accept the fact that
No.
exactly that he gets let off? And they're not. And the reason he's not is because we got to go back to the very basics. You have a guy who's not complying with officers' instructions. They had information that this guy had a criminal history and all this other stuff. He reaches in a car very quickly. Now, whether or not he was reaching for a gun, we don't know. But that officer made a decision because he felt his life was in danger, and he made a decision to shoot him. And therefore, because of the going back to Graham versus Connor, severity of the crime, the propensity for violence, does he have the ability to is he shown a propensity of violence for the general public and at officer safety, and all these other things? Officer chooses to use deadly force, and now he's going to get let off because hey, it was all justified. But people aren't going to be, they're not ready to accept that fact. And so I just, the sad thing for me is like things are they are really that simple. I showed a video when I did that Kenosha breakdown. I showed a video where it actually shows officers that allowed a guy, well, they didn't allow him. He got away from the officers, went to his car, pulled out a gun so quickly, and then fired rounds off at the officers and shot him.
Yep. And that's the thing, when I speak on the lack of education and the importance of making sure that, we as a society, as a whole, are educated. People all the time preach about, BB guns. Well, they shot this person for pointing a BB gun at the officer. I can show you a picture right now of a 12 gauge shotgun that's painted to look exactly like a super soaker. Exactly like a super soaker.
Ooh, that'd be a good post.
Let alone how realistic these BB guns look, right?
Yeah, can you send that to me? I'm going to post that.
Oh, I absolutely can. I mean, they spray painted it. Even more so, they rigged the shotgun to go inside the plastic portion of the super soaker. They painted the handle orange. I mean, it looks like a super soaker.
They've done that with an AR rifle before too.
Yeah. I mean, and that's the thing is like a lot of people don't understand that. So of course, everybody starts sending me this Kenosha video, and Ryan was among one of the first to send me the video. He didn't even say anything. Ryan just sent me the video. I watch it. I immediately called Ryan. I said, "Hey, that dude could have been grabbing a grenade out of that car for all that we know, and that's why he shot him." I don't need any other context. I don't need the context that they tried to tase him, that the officer gave them multiple commands, that the officer was physically trying to pull him away from the car, that there were kids inside of the car. I don't need any of that. The fact that he was reaching inside of the car and that the officer shot, my first thing is, man, that dude could have been grabbing an AR 1000, right? Some new stuff that ain't even came out yet that we don't know about. And the officer seen it. Do we know what's in that car? No. Do we know what transpired prior to that? No. Do we know what the officer seen? No. So why are we so quick to go, oh, he shot him because he's black? Come on. Let me tell you what you're doing when you continuously paint that narrative over and over and over again. You're taking away the validity of when something actually racist happens, because you're going to create a world that we live in today, or that we're at least trending towards today, where people have to pick a side. You're either on the side where everything is racist, or you're on the side where nothing is racist. And what happens is when something actually racist happens, people are going to choose one of those sides instead of actually going, let's meet in the middle here, and all right, it's racist. That's what you're doing.
Yep.
That's what you're doing. And I hate to say it like this, but you're crying wolf. You can't watch a video like that and automatically say that cop is racist. I've had 3 partners my entire career. Every single one of my partners has been a white male, and I will bet every single amount of money that I have in my checkings and savings account, I will bet every single prized possession that I have, sentimental, whatever, that every single one of those white males that have been my partner is not racist. And I know that because I know them. But God forbid that they go out and they get caught on camera, or their BWC, their body camera picks up them using force on someone that's a minority, because they're automatically going to be crucified and labeled as a racist, which doesn't make sense.
Nope.
It doesn't make sense whatsoever. Keep in mind, they tried to tase him. They actually shot him with a taser, which should tell you what? I'm not trying to kill this guy. I'm trying to use less lethal force, which is what they did. They used less lethal force. It didn't work. We don't try something over and over and over again. You know why? Because of Rodney King. After Rodney King happened, there was a nationwide retraining, and that retraining was what? Try something. If it doesn't work, try something else. We're not going to keep punching you over and over and over again, because guess what? It's not working. They tased him. It didn't work. We're going to try something else. The officer is physically pulling him away. It's not working. He's giving him orders. It's not working. At what point are we allowed to use deadly force?
Yeah.
At what point? Is it the point that he reaches in the car and kills the kids in the car? And don't think that that's far-fetched, because it happens. Look up the definition of familicide. When people are going through domestic situations and they're so emotionally involved, they lose logic. They kill themselves and they kill their entire families. We see it as police officers. I've personally seen it time and time again. Do we let him get in the car and take off? Now we're in a high-speed pursuit because he has these dangerous warrants, because he's just done X, Y, and Z. He crashes the car, not only killing him and the kids, but the car that he ran into? No. The officer did what he had to do. And people are like, well, he shot him in the back. What do you want him to do? Turn him around and start shooting him in the chest? We don't do that.
Is that going to look better? Exactly.
Right. He shot him 7 times. He shot him until he stopped the threat. When I was involved in my shooting, the detective asked me, how many times you shoot? I couldn't even answer the question. I was like, I shot until he dropped the needle and the door open.
Yep.
3 times. Okay. Yeah, I think I remember hearing 3 bangs, now that you say that.
And you know what's funny is when I was in mine, I shot, and then the moment I saw him drop, I stopped shooting.
That's it. It could be 20 times. I could show you a video of people, multiple videos of people getting shot numerous times and still attacking or still getting up and moving. So don't think this ain't the movies. Listen, you got me worked up, Ryan. This is not the movies, and now is not the time to play.
Let me. I'm gonna get you a little bit more worked up because we got 13 minutes left. But there was a video released out of Daytona Beach, Florida, where officers were going into a house. They served a no-knock warrant to go get a murder suspect in a house. They make entry into this house, and as they're going through the house, they open another door, and as soon as they open the door, the suspect is on the other side and shoots the officer in the chest. So we go to Breonna Taylor. They serve a no-knock warrant. Somebody starts shooting inside. The officers return fire inside, killing, unfortunately, Breonna Taylor. There's a reason these things exist. There's a reason we train a certain way. That video, I'm going to do a breakdown on it today, but that's a prime example of why the need, one, for a no-knock warrant. The two, we don't do them all the time, but there's a need for them. And why we're so careful and how quickly something can escalate. That guy was on the other side of that door, and he knew exactly what he was going to do to the officer, and he actually shot the officer. Now, thank God the round caught the officer in his bulletproof vest. But had he not had that, bro, that's just another officer down, and now that's another family that's mourning the death of their father at the funeral because he was there doing a job to protect, lives and property.
Yep, 100%, man. I was just talking to a producer for this show, and she asked me, she goes, well, what's your views on Breonna Taylor? And I told her flat out, I said, look, I don't know the details. What I do know is that the officers were serving a warrant. Somebody from the outside or somebody from the inside started shooting at the officers. The officers returned fire. Breonna Taylor is now no longer with us. Very unfortunate. What I want to touch on is this talk about banning no-knock warrants. To me, that doesn't make sense. It's not logical. Let me flip through the pages here, Ryan. I know I was talking to you about this the other day. I was talking to you about this the other day. Here we go. What's the logic behind banning no-knock warrants, Ryan? To preserve life, right? We no longer want to see police officers serving these warrants and maliciously, intentionally killing black men and women or people of color or people in general, right? That's the purpose of banning a no-knock warrant. If that's truly the purpose of banning a no-knock warrant, let me give you some numbers. Last year, police shot 1,004 people, shot and killed 1,004 people. That's the highest number I found. The lowest number I found was 988. We'll say it's the highest number, 1,004. A majority of no-knock warrants are what? Narcotic sales, violent people. You said you don't do them a lot. My department probably does a lot a day. I mean, we're serving multiple no-knock warrants a day. We actually have a division that just does that. That's their job. They go, no-knock warrants, go to the next house. No-knock warrant, go to the next house. Let me give you an example. I don't know her looking on time. I'll make this quick. Let me give you an example. I'm a drug dealer, okay? I got 30 keys of fentanyl, 30 pounds of fentanyl in my house, enough to kill the entire state of Ohio. Say it's car fentanyl, right? Guess what? No knock warrants are banned. The police walk up to my door and they knock. I look out. I see the police. Am I going to answer my door? Nah. What am I going to do? I'm going to go upstairs, and guess where all that fentanyl is going?
Down the toilet.
Down the drain,
Yep.
down the sink, in cubby holes, in all these secret spots that you're not going to find. By the time the police come inside my drug house, my whatever, my trap house, guess what you're going to find? AJ
Never.
sitting on the couch playing video games,
Yep.
clean as a whistle. And why do I use that analogy? Last year, 72,000 people died from overdoses. 72,000, 37,000 alone from fentanyl. If our true intent is to preserve life, which is why we're banning no knock warrants, how does that make sense? Say every single person that police officers killed was from a no knock warrant. 1,000 people. Not even close. Not even close. I would say it's in the single digits. Single digits. But say last year, every single person that was killed by the hands of the police was from serving a no-knock warrant. It's 1,004. Does that even compare to the 72,000 people who die from overdoses every day?
Nope.
Then what are we really arguing about here?
And
Is
not
it an
only
attack on the police?
And not only that, too, you got to figure, and I just sent you guys a picture the other day where we pulled 33 pounds of meth off the street. 33 pounds.
Yeah.
So it's out there. The people are pushing this stuff. But the term innocent, police killed an innocent black man, or police killed an innocent person. We got to define what innocent is. Because last I checked, innocent is somebody that's not doing anything. Innocent
Or
is me.
murder.
Yeah, innocent is me being out with my family, just hanging out, and somebody just randomly comes and kills me, and I had nothing to do with nothing. That's innocent. Usually when a person is killed by police, they were involved in some type of crime, and now it's just a matter of whether or not the force that they used was the correct force or not the correct force. So we gotta define that first, because that's a huge part of it. Is was the force used by officers appropriate or not? But the term innocent, we killed an innocent person. Were they truly innocent? Even if we look at George Floyd, that was an unjustified death of a person. There was unjustified use of force. But was George Floyd innocent? He was not. He committed a crime. He wasn't cooperating with officers. So the officers were there for a purpose. So we got to get away from this innocent part, because truly, if you're somebody that is innocent, you're not in a position where police should even be contacting you. And that's the scary part about it. Is like we're making it seem like these people are upstanding people, and not to say that their life, it doesn't matter, because they do. Like that phrase, and I hate to use the phrase "all lives matter," but and I use it from the standpoint of the criminal life. If I'm dealing with you, your life still matters to mine. Even though I don't agree with your lifestyle, it still that matters to mine. The person that is killed innocently, truly innocently, their life matters. So that, for me, like, that's what innocent really is. It's not the person that was out there dope dealing and then he ends up getting in a use of force with an officer and ends up losing his life, and now we want to say justice for such and such, when in actuality what we should have said, his butt shouldn't have been doing that in the first place. And that's what I think I love about the way, like, my parents raised me in the old school way of thinking, is like, your butt shouldn't have been doing that in the first place. So why? It's like one of those things where you get in trouble with your friends and you try to tell your mom, like, hey mom, I didn't do it. They did it. My mom was gonna tell me you shouldn't have been with him, or my pops would tell me you shouldn't have been with him in the first place. So I don't care what they did. I care what you did, and your butt, just for going with them, you shouldn't have been there in the first place. I don't care if you weren't the one that pulled the trigger. You were with him in the first place. But we don't have that mentality. We don't have that mindset, which is what the mindset should be, just because it's one of those things where it's like, man, if you're not there in the first place, if you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, you don't got nothing to worry about. So, go ahead, AJ. Your last. Go ahead. Close us out with some of your final thoughts.
Man, final thoughts. First off, I want to applaud every single police officer out there doing his or her job right now during these times. Listen, your boy is off work and it's driving me absolutely crazy. I want to be out there with y'all. Unfortunately, I can't. This is probably the hardest time ever to be a police officer. People are questioning your character every single second of every single day, but yet you still go out here and you still put your life on the line for whether it's a protester, whether it's a rioter, you'll die for these people. And I want to applaud you for that. And I want to let you know that people recognize it. People see it. Don't give up hope. Keep going. They need us now more than ever. Let me say that one more time for you. They need us now more than ever. Even the people throwing things at you, even the people spewing hatred at you, they need you now more than ever. Don't feed into it. Don't argue with people. Don't let people pull you out of the position that you're in and for you to do something out of your character. Prove them wrong by your actions. They clearly trust the police enough to throw things at you and to spew hatred at you. So you already know that they don't believe whatever they're saying. I'm scared of the police. Well, you're in front of a police officer screaming. I'm scared of other people's dogs. Guess what AJ does when he's around other people's dogs? I freeze. What owner? What should I do? Should I pet him? Should I jump on the couch? Say, I don't mess with other people's dogs. Those are my actions because I'm truly scared. They're not truly scared. They're not truly scared. Stay strong. That's it.
Billy, what you got, man?
I got no thoughts.
Oh, we back to normal, Billy.
Oh, you don't got no thoughts, Billy.
Billy's like, I'm a white man in America, bro. I don't want to say nothing right now.
Hey, we laugh, but
Hey,
we laugh.
Hey guys, like AJ said, man, I just want you guys to continue to just stay motivated. It's hard. It's very, very hard right now. But again, like I said, I always put my faith and trust in Jesus Christ.
That's
it. So that's the answer. That's what continues to give me peace, as hard as it is. Even the peace with this fly that I'm about to pop right now, as it's been attacking me ever since we started this podcast. But we love you guys. I'm so sorry to cut this episode short. I think this was good. Maybe next week we'll actually do another episode with just me, AJ, and Billy, and we'll make it our normal length. But I have a very critical meeting I got to attend to in about 3 minutes or so. But we love you guys. Please forgive us for coming to you guys late this week. We will try to prevent that from happening in the future. But thank you guys for your support. Thank you to our podcast sponsor, Thin Line Anthem. We appreciate you. And thank you to everybody out there that's been supporting this podcast from day one. It's only because of you that we continue to show up every single Monday or Tuesday now to give you guys that podcast. So, well, with that being said, we love you guys, and we'll see you guys next week.
Peace.